Mike Perrone, who Manhattan-based here from a business perspective, which is very exciting, New York's finest.
Native.
Mike, you're actually
Brooklyn.
one of the folks I first met when relocating back east, and was really floored by the product and the traction that you had already built at that point. And that's even before you started focusing on the real estate industry, particularly the retail industry. If any of you own, manage, or interact with retail spaces, you're going to be really floored. I've seen Mike go toe-to-toe in real meetings, real live business meetings with some of the sharpest technologists in our entire real estate technology space, and he dominated them. So this is one of the smartest people in the whole space. He might pretend to be humble, but he's really not. And he's become a good friend. The business you'll love a lot, called Social Sign-In. Mike Perrone, welcome.
Thanks, Aaron. Good morning, everyone. Wow, a lot of people. So, how many of you out there are looking for ways to increase revenue, right? Sure, mostly everyone, right? And how many of you out there operate or own a physical location that gets a fair amount of foot traffic, right? Probably a good chunk of you as well. And how many of you out there have invested in building a digital audience or an online presence for your business, right? Nowadays, pretty much everyone has, right? Well, I am absolutely fascinated at the intersection of physical places and online audiences, right? I mean, like, just blows me away. Think of it in sort of a different way, right? What I think, and what my team thinks really, is that every physical place has a corresponding online audience, and that audience is comprised of its foot traffic, right? So anybody who travels through any physical location, all those people are also thought of like as an audience, right? Well, to tap into this audience and activate this audience is a very valuable asset, right? However, connecting with visitors is complex and challenging, right? How do you get someone who's there to do something else, interact with you, engage with your programs, sign up for your marketing programs, that sort of stuff, right? So we've tried a bunch of different ways over the years as an industry, right? So pretty much every single one of you is probably invested in a website. And in investing in your website, you've probably also invested in traffic, right, to drive traffic to your website. Well, for years, we would get people who were going to be visitors to our space look up things like hours, stores, directions, right? Well, recently, what's started to happen in search world is we're getting those sort of visitors to these websites hijacked, right? So if you look here, if we were going to do a search for, say, Brookfield Place, right? No longer are they going to go through to the website to get, hours and times, that sort of thing. All that information is presented right here neatly by Google, right? And if you don't use Google, you might use an app, right? And those apps also will circumvent and hijack your traffic, right? So, okay, websites maybe not the best source going forward. And then we've sort of all went and built apps, right? And I love apps. To be totally frank, like I think apps have the ability, a single purpose app, to completely radically change the experience. Augmented reality, help, you name it. I'm very bullish on apps in general. The elephant in the room with apps, though, is adoption, okay? It's very difficult to get a user to download your app, find the right one, give it the right permissions, turn it on. What you see up here are just 3 very simple searches, right? In the App Store for an app. Now you think to yourself, how many times have you gone to a place and actually searched for an app? None, right? So I think the statistics are that the average smartphone user downloads exactly 0 apps a year. 0, right? So very complex adoption problems. But it's valuable information, right? Collecting that audience. Who's in my space? How can I reach them? Who are they? How do we sell this space to people that are going to lease here, right? So what do? Well, some of us go hand to hand, and we send people out with clipboards to gather information, and everyone has the same reaction. You're breaking the experience, you're not getting the information you need, someone has to transfer it down, right? It's a nightmare, and it's expensive, right? So, what do? Well, we've been probably searching for new channels, right? How do we connect with the people? They're here. We've got them here. That's the hard part, right? But how do we keep them here? Keep them coming back. Give them a good experience, right? So we're searching and searching and searching for a new channel. And what I'm here to tell you today is actually, it's not something new, right? You can connect with everyone in your physical space, leveraging something you probably already have or are slated to invest in, and that's Wi-Fi. So Wi-Fi, right? I'm gonna tell you 3 reasons why we think it's the hidden marketing channel. Number 1, it's the most requested amenity of any space, okay? Look at endless surveys from Comcast or any ISP out there, and what they'll tell you is the most requested amenity in any space is connectivity, okay? And you're gonna provide it, because the same reasons why you provide bathrooms and safety equipment and good lighting and parking and all those things that go into making a pleasurable experience, you're gonna provide connectivity, right? So you're already doing it. Number 2, and this is important, right, is the adoption rate, okay? So remember when we talked about apps, right, and that big blocker of getting adoption to your single purpose app? You don't have to convince people to use technology because every single person will use it. Just a quick show of hands, how many people tried to access Wi-Fi this morning? Right? How many of you same people will use the bathroom? Right, less, okay? So Wi-Fi is more important than the bathroom. Drop the mic, I'm done. So you get the point, right? The point is that you're gonna provide connectivity, right? Because people demand it and they're gonna use it. But it's a nice two-way street. And the third piece is it's effortless, right? Effortless for you, the owner, operator, manager, once you have the right system, the right strategy, and effortless on part of the consumer. There's no apps, right? No extra thing I gotta look for, download, keep permissions, right? Works on every device natively. There's over 1 billion devices generated every single year that can access Wi-Fi. So it kind of makes for a perfect storm. So what's out there now for Wi-Fi, right? Because we didn't invent Wi-Fi, that's not what we do. We've all seen it, right? It's the home-built splash page, right? It's the default browser screen that has the branding of whoever sold you your equipment, right? It's things that maybe work okay for an IT guy, but from a marketing perspective are a disaster. I've seen at least 10 of the biggest brands in America completely miss the ball on this one-on-one touch point. So if you're spending all this money on what your space looks like and everyone's face is buried in their phone, you got an experience problem. So what about other things that are slightly tangential to Wi-Fi? Location analytics, geofencing, other apps, right? Well, they have gaps. Remember when I started talking about digital audience, right? And the people that are in your spaces and how valuable of an asset it is if you can activate them, right? Well, what are the gaps that exist today? Well, a lot of things will be really good at telling you how many people are here, where they walk, right? So lots of analytical firms that do a great job. I'm not sort of knocking down what they provide, but they don't tell you who those people are. And if you don't understand who your audience is, they're not your audience. They're just people, right? They're just bodies, okay? So if you really want to get into it and understand who these people are, you need to know who they are specifically, right? So that's a big gap. Second gap is paying for reach, okay? So I have a mall, let's say, right? And I've spent a lot of money on advertising to get people to the mall. And then they take out their phone, and now I'm gonna spend yet another bit of money to reach them while they're on site, to Facebook or Google or anybody else. So you're gonna pay for reach that you've already acquired? That doesn't make a lot of sense to me either. And then third is untargeted and spammy messages. How many people like getting unsolicited messages on their phones? No one, right? So it's very difficult for you to communicate, right? But when something happens in the natural flow, much more powerful, right? So I'm pleased to announce that I'm Mike Perrone. I'm not pleased to announce that, but I'm pleased to, sorry, it's early. I'm Mike Perrone. I'm CEO of Social Sign-In, which I'm happy to share a little bit about today. I work as part of an amazing team, okay? A team that's come from marketing, direct marketing, social media marketing, technology, and we built a set of capabilities to really help our customers define and access their digital audience. And the best part about it is you don't really even need to understand a word that I'm saying, because we will help you do that, okay? We're not here to convince you exactly what our technology does or what it works. We're just here to tell you that you have an asset in this audience and we can help you tap into that. So how do we make Wi-Fi work for you, right? Well, it's very simple. We use our patented technology, right? So we're the only ones that possess it and it's patented to help people turn that guest touch point of accessing your network into a relationship management touch point, okay? Very, very important process. where I'm accessing the network, that's the best foot you can put forward, okay? We help you do that. Number two is we help you engage with the people while they're on site. So what do I mean by that? That means showing relevant information, whether it's your app or your marketing program, discount code, loyalty club, you name it. We help connect the person that's physically in your space to all the things you want them to do, right? Like you on Facebook, follow you on Instagram, download your app, know that there's a new Starbucks opened up in D-Wing, right? All those things that you want to do, we help you engage, right? And the best part about it is we're also part strategy, right? So what we do as a company is we help our customers cultivate the audience through our patented technology and then really maximize their value. Okay? And the last piece is nurture, right? So the one difference between a digital audience that you own and one that you pay for to access at specific points in time is that it operates more like an annuity, and you have to nurture that annuity. So what's the benefits of getting it right? What do I get out of this, right? Well, the number one thing is you're gonna get intelligence, right? You're gonna understand who are the people that are in your space on a daily basis, right? Over 20 times more effective and with a larger penetration than, say, an app strategy, okay? And what does better intelligence mean? Well, it's not just for marketing purposes or email lists, right? It's for leasing, okay? It's to help you figure out who you should be targeting for leases. Give your agents the information to arm them to understand what's the penetration socially of the people that spend time in these places for your brand, okay? So very powerful leasing tool, not just marketing tool. We help you find untapped revenue, okay? So the nice thing about our system is we're creating what's called digital inventory, right? Places you can put ads, essentially, right? So these are new places for you to find something that meshes with your experience and to drive real dollars. And then number three is the annuity. And if you take one thing away from my rambling this morning, please take this away. When you own an audience, that means you can access them. You know who they are. You have the right to contact them in the future. They look to you for guidance. You're in the flow of their daily communications. What? Microphone's I don't need this microphone. I'm good. I can yell. Anyway, long story short, owning your audience produces what's called an annuity value, right? So we all know that from a financial term, what that means. But what it means from an audience perspective is that you own them. They provide value for you year after year, day after day, okay? Very important aspect. So what does all of this look like when you nail it, okay? So this is real data. This is a building in New York City. It's about 20,000 square feet. Okay? Over the course of a month, they see about 100,000 unique individuals go through the space. The space is mixed use, part exhibit, part retail, has a heavy online e-commerce component as well. Okay? Using social sign-in over the course of last year, over 210,000 visitors accessed their network and therefore became part of their audience by doing so. What that generated in additional incremental sales, so net new people on their email campaigns, existing programs to sell them future tickets and future revenue, was over $900,000. They then used that same inventory I talked about before, that space that the system creates, to sell $150,000 worth of sponsorship revenue. So they generated an additional $1 million in revenue, right? Just from using social sign-in 1 year. That was over $50 a square foot. I'm sure everybody would like $50 a square foot more. And imagine if that was a bigger space. This was only 20,000 square feet. It's not a million, right? It's not 500,000 square feet. So lots to be done there. So a little bit about the company. We're New York City based, and we have a very small office in San Francisco. We started out targeting entertainment venues. We work with some of the best entertainment venues on the planet. Nearly every Broadway theater, multiple NBA venues, NFL stadiums, and some of the best retail. What we focus on is providing the best experience for people accessing your guest network, and then we help you make money off of those people by growing your audience. So what does this look like to the end consumer? If you guys text MetaProp to this number here, 917-434-0663, you will get a preview of what the experience looks like to the end user. Okay? I'm Mike Perrone. This is Social Sign-In. We're here to help you build your audience. We're around today. Please find us. Please text us and send us your feedback. Thank you all very much for coming. It means a lot to all of us. Thank you.